My beloved child, wait here for one quiet moment, because what is about to unfold is not arriving by accident. There are evenings that pass like every other evening, and then there are evenings that quietly change the way a heart remembers its own story. Tonight carries that gentle possibility. Before another thought distracts you, before another voice tells you to rush ahead, allow this message to settle into the deepest part of your spirit. Something beautiful has been moving toward you without demanding attention, and now the time has come for you to notice it. Archangel Michael says, "Congratulations, beloved soul." Not because everything around you has suddenly become perfect, but because something within you has reached a place heaven has been patiently preparing. Many people spend years searching outside themselves for the peace they already carry within. You have walked through moments that tested your patience, stretched your hope, and quietly reshaped your heart in ways even you have not fully recognized. Every silent lesson, every unanswered question, every ordinary morning that felt unnoticed has become part of a greater design. Nothing has been wasted. Even the pauses held purpose. There is a reason your attention found these words today. Not because you were forced here, but because your spirit was ready to hear something it could not fully understand before now. Think carefully. Have you noticed how certain worries no longer feel as heavy as they once did? Have you sensed small moments of calm appearing where anxiety used to live? Those are not random changes. They are gentle reminders that growth often happens quietly, long before it becomes visible. Archangel Michael whispers that your greatest transformation has never been about changing the world around you first. It has always been about preparing your heart to receive what has already been making its way toward you. Stay till the end, because something important is waiting for you, and its meaning becomes clearer with every passing moment. Imagine standing before the first light after a long night. Nothing dramatic announces the sunrise. No loud voice commands the darkness to leave. The light simply arrives, and suddenly everything that seemed hidden begins revealing itself. That is how joy often enters a person's life. Not with noise, but with quiet certainty. Tonight carries the same gentle rhythm. There may be a conversation that feels lighter than expected. A memory that suddenly brings gratitude instead of sadness. A feeling of peace that arrives for reasons you cannot explain. These are not small things. They are reminders that your heart has become ready to recognize blessings that were always nearby. Congratulations does not always mean receiving something new. Sometimes it means finally seeing what has been surrounding you all along. You may wonder why this message speaks so personally to you. The answer is simple. Every soul reaches moments when encouragement arrives exactly when it is needed most. Perhaps you have carried responsibilities without recognition. Perhaps you smiled while hiding quiet exhaustion. Perhaps you kept believing even when nobody noticed your faith. If that sounds familiar, then hear these words with complete confidence. Your kindness has never disappeared into silence. Every gentle choice has shaped the person you are becoming. Every act of patience has planted seeds that bloom in unexpected seasons. Archangel Michael reminds you that heaven celebrates quiet victories just as deeply as visible ones. Don't skip this next thought, because it may become the part you remember long after today ends. Happiness is rarely found by chasing extraordinary moments. More often, it appears when an ordinary moment suddenly becomes meaningful. Tonight may not look different to everyone around you. The sky may appear unchanged. The streets may sound the same. But your heart has the opportunity to experience this evening differently. A peaceful realization, an unexpected smile, a renewed hope. These gentle gifts often arrive when a soul finally stops expecting them to come through noise. They come through stillness. There is another reason congratulations has already been spoken over you. You have continued moving forward, even when your progress felt invisible. Many people only celebrate the finish line, but heaven celebrates every faithful step. Every time you chose compassion over bitterness, courage over fear, patience over frustration, you quietly opened another door within yourself. Those doors lead to peace that circumstances cannot easily remove. That is the happiness waiting tonight. Not temporary excitement, but a deeper confidence that your story is still unfolding with purpose. For just a moment, listen to the silence between your thoughts. There is a calm voice there that has always believed in you, even when your own confidence became uncertain. Archangel Michael says that voice has never stopped speaking. Life simply became too busy to hear it clearly. Tonight offers a chance to listen again. Slow your heart. Release the need to control every answer. Some of the greatest gifts arrive after surrender replaces striving. Some of the brightest evenings begin the moment a soul decides it no longer has to carry everything alone. And yet, there is one beautiful detail that has not been revealed. It is not something distant. It is already moving closer than you realize. Before this evening ends, a quiet sign, an unexpected feeling, or a simple moment may connect pieces of your journey in a way that feels deeply personal. When that happens, you will understand why this message began with congratulations before any explanation was given. But that part of the story belongs to what comes next. And its meaning is only beginning to unfold. There is something remarkable about the moments that follow quiet expectation. They rarely announce themselves with loud celebrations. Instead, they arrive gently, almost unnoticed, until your heart suddenly realizes it has crossed into a new season. That is why Archangel Michael asks you not to measure tonight by dramatic events, but by the subtle changes taking place within you. The greatest gifts often begin where the world sees nothing at all. They begin with a calmer breath, a lighter spirit, a renewed ability to believe that goodness is still finding its way toward you. Perhaps you have spent too much time wondering whether your efforts truly mattered. Perhaps you questioned whether your quiet prayers, your patient choices, or your unseen acts of kindness reached beyond the ordinary. Archangel Michael gently answers those questions before they can grow any louder. Nothing rooted in love is ever without purpose. Every compassionate word, every forgiving heart, every moment you chose hope instead of discouragement has been shaping a future that is stronger than you can currently imagine. Take a slow look at your own journey. Notice how many times life quietly prepared you before it ever rewarded you. The waiting taught wisdom. The uncertainty built resilience. Even the unanswered moments refined your character in ways comfort never could. That is why tonight feels different. You are no longer standing where you once were. Even if your surroundings appear familiar, your heart has changed, and a transformed heart sees opportunities that once remained invisible. Stay till the end, because another realization is gently approaching. There are blessings that only become visible after gratitude opens the eyes to recognize them. You may discover yourself smiling for reasons you cannot fully explain. You may feel an unexpected sense of calm replacing thoughts that once seemed impossible to quiet. These are not coincidences. They are reminders that peace often arrives before visible change, preparing you to receive every good thing with confidence rather than fear. Archangel Michael says there is no need to rush what is unfolding. A flower never forces itself to bloom before its season. A sunrise never competes with the night. Everything beautiful unfolds at the right pace, and so does your own story. The happiness promised to you tonight is not built on hurried expectations. It grows from trust, patience, and the quiet confidence that every meaningful step has brought you exactly where you need to be. Now consider this gentle question. What if the very thing you have been searching for has also been searching for a heart prepared to receive it? Sometimes we imagine ourselves chasing joy, when in reality joy has been patiently waiting for us to become ready. That thought changes everything. Instead of wondering whether you are enough, begin noticing how faithfully you have been growing through every chapter. Growth has never demanded perfection. It has only asked for willingness. Don't skip this next reflection, because it may become the turning point of your evening. There are moments when heaven celebrates before people even recognize what is happening. Congratulations was spoken first because your transformation began long before you became aware of it. You have already crossed a quiet threshold. The old weight no longer belongs to you in the same way it once did. The future ahead carries a lighter atmosphere because your spirit has learned lessons your past could never have taught without the journey. As this evening continues, pay attention to the simple things. A familiar song may sound different. A peaceful conversation may carry unexpected meaning. A memory that once brought sadness may suddenly remind you of how far you have come. These gentle moments are often where lasting happiness begins, not through extraordinary displays, but through ordinary experiences filled with extraordinary meaning. Archangel Michael smiles over your progress with quiet assurance. Beloved child, you are learning that true joy is not something you borrow from tomorrow. It is something you begin recognizing today. Those words are meant to settle deeply within you. Every peaceful choice you make tonight becomes another step toward a life filled with greater confidence, compassion, and hope. Yet there remains one beautiful piece of this message that has not fully unfolded. There is a reason this evening feels as though it is quietly preparing you for something more. The next part will reveal why tonight is not only about happiness, but about a realization that could gently change the way you see every tomorrow that follows. A quiet truth is beginning to rise now, and it does not ask for attention. It simply waits for your heart to recognize it. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, there are moments when heaven celebrates long before the world notices a change. Tonight is one of those moments." What you feel in this hour may seem small at first, almost too gentle to matter. Yet the softest light is often the one that remains when every distraction fades away. Think back to a time when you believed nothing meaningful was happening, only to realize later that those ordinary days had quietly transformed your life. Growth rarely announces itself while it is taking place. It works patiently beneath the surface, shaping your perspective, strengthening your spirit, and preparing your heart for moments that could never have been appreciated before. That is why this evening feels different. You are not becoming someone new. You are discovering someone who has been growing within you all along. There is something important waiting for you, and it is closer than your thoughts have allowed you to believe. Not because life suddenly changes overnight, but because your ability to recognize goodness has expanded. That is a gift many people search for without ever realizing it begins inside. The peace entering your heart tonight is not fragile. It has been built through every challenge you faced with quiet courage, every disappointment that taught patience, and every unanswered question that slowly became wisdom. Stay with these words for a little longer. Imagine standing beside a calm river at sunset. The water does not hurry toward the ocean. It flows with complete confidence, knowing exactly where it belongs. Your own journey carries that same quiet certainty. There were seasons when you questioned your direction, when you wondered if your steps truly mattered. Yet every step brought you here, to this moment where hope feels less like a dream and more like something gently unfolding before your eyes. Archangel Michael whispers, "Congratulations, beloved, because your heart has become strong enough to receive joy without fear of losing it." That single realization changes everything. Many people hesitate to embrace happiness because they worry it cannot last. But tonight invites you to loosen your grip on uncertainty and simply receive each peaceful moment as a precious gift. Joy grows stronger when it is welcomed with gratitude rather than protected by worry. Don't skip this next reflection, because it may become the quiet turning point of your evening. Have you noticed how often the answers you searched for arrived after you stopped forcing them? Life has a gentle rhythm. Some blessings appear only when the heart becomes still enough to recognize them. Perhaps that is why this message reached you today. Your spirit has become ready to hear what impatience once would have overlooked. There is another reason celebration has already begun. You have inspired more people than you know. A kind word you barely remembered offering, a smile given during an ordinary day, a moment of understanding when someone needed it most, these things continue creating gentle ripples long after they leave your memory. Goodness has a way of traveling farther than we ever imagine. Tonight, allow yourself to believe that your presence has always carried quiet value. As this evening unfolds, let every peaceful moment remind you that happiness is not always found in extraordinary events. Sometimes it arrives through clarity. Sometimes through gratitude. Sometimes through the simple realization that you no longer carry yesterday's burdens the way you once did. That quiet freedom is worth celebrating. It is proof that your journey has not been standing still, even when it felt slow. Archangel Michael says, "Lift your eyes with hope, for the next chapter is not asking you to become someone else. It is inviting you to walk forward as the person you have already become." Those words hold more meaning than they first appear to. They are not the end of the message. They are the doorway to something even deeper. Because before this night comes to its peaceful close, one final realization will begin taking shape. A realization that will connect every part of this message into a single, beautiful picture. And when that moment arrives, you may understand why your heart was gently guided here from the very beginning. There is one final layer of this evening that has been quietly waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. It has never been hidden from you out of distance, only protected until your heart was ready to receive it with peace instead of haste. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, the greatest congratulations I can offer you is not for what you are about to gain, but for the person you have become while waiting." Those words may seem simple, yet they carry a depth that unfolds little by little, just as the first stars appear one by one across the evening sky. For so long, you may have believed that happiness would begin only after a certain answer arrived, after a certain opportunity appeared, or after life finally looked the way you imagined. But tonight gently invites you to see something different. Joy has already begun finding you. It has been arriving in quiet moments that were easy to overlook, a peaceful breath after a difficult day, an unexpected feeling of gratitude, a renewed sense of hope that appeared without explanation. These moments were never ordinary. They were gentle reminders that your spirit was awakening to a deeper kind of peace. Pause here for just a moment and ask yourself a quiet question. When was the last time you truly celebrated how far you have come? Not how far you still wish to go, but how much strength has already grown within you. It is easy to focus on unfinished dreams while forgetting the remarkable journey that brought you to this very evening. Archangel Michael reminds you that heaven notices every faithful step, even the ones that felt too small to matter. Every moment you chose kindness over frustration, patience over worry, and hope over discouragement became part of a beautiful story still being written. Something important is waiting for you, and it is not found by rushing ahead. It is found by becoming fully present. The heart often discovers its greatest treasures when it stops searching everywhere else. Perhaps that is why this message feels so personal. It is not asking you to become someone different. It is gently helping you recognize the quiet light that has been growing inside you all along. Imagine walking through a peaceful garden just after sunset. The flowers do not compete with one another. The trees do not question whether they have grown enough. Everything simply rests in the confidence of its own season. Your life carries that same quiet wisdom. There has never been a need to compare your path with anyone else's. The timing of your story has always been uniquely yours, and tonight is another reminder that beautiful things continue unfolding exactly when your heart is prepared to receive them. Don't skip these next words, because they may stay with you long after this evening has passed. There are blessings that cannot be measured by what you hold in your hands. They are measured by the peace you carry within your soul. That peace becomes your strength when uncertainty appears. It becomes your light when the road ahead seems unfamiliar. It becomes your reminder that you have never been walking alone, even during the quietest chapters of your journey. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, let tonight become a memory you return to whenever doubt whispers too loudly. Remember that happiness did not suddenly appear from nowhere. It was growing quietly inside you, waiting for the moment you finally recognized it." Those words are not only for this evening. They are meant to travel with you into every tomorrow, reminding you that hope is not a distant destination. It is a faithful companion that walks beside you every single day. As the night continues to unfold, allow yourself to release expectations that feel heavy. Receive each peaceful moment as a gentle gift. Smile without needing a reason. Rest without feeling guilty. Believe without demanding immediate proof. Sometimes the heart becomes strongest when it chooses quiet trust over constant certainty. And yet, there is still one beautiful truth that has not been fully spoken. It is the reason this message began with congratulations before any explanation was given. In the next part, Archangel Michael will reveal the quiet promise hidden within tonight, a promise that has been unfolding through every chapter of your journey, preparing your heart for a future filled with deeper peace, lasting joy, and a hope that continues to grow with every new dawn. Have you noticed how the quietest moments often become the ones you remember for years? They rarely arrive with loud celebrations. Instead, they settle gently into the heart until one day you realize they changed the way you see everything. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, tonight is one of those moments. It may seem ordinary now, but its meaning will continue unfolding long after these words have faded. That is why your spirit has been invited to slow down. Not because there is something to fear, but because there is something beautiful to recognize." The promise hidden within this evening has never been about a single event. It has always been about a new way of seeing your own journey. You have spent seasons wondering if your quiet efforts mattered. You questioned whether your patience, your compassion, and your perseverance were leading anywhere at all. Yet every chapter has been preparing you for this realization: nothing that grows in love is ever wasted. Every gentle choice has become part of a foundation stronger than you could have imagined. Take a deep breath and let this thought settle peacefully within you. What if the greatest gift waiting tonight is the confidence to trust yourself again? Not because every question has been answered, but because your heart has become wiser than your doubts. There is a quiet strength within you that no disappointment has been able to erase. Even when hope felt distant, it remained alive beneath the surface, waiting patiently for this very moment to rise again. Stay till the end, because another gentle truth is about to unfold. Sometimes we expect happiness to arrive through extraordinary surprises, yet it often enters through simple moments that change our perspective forever. A peaceful conversation. A kind memory. A fresh sense of purpose as tomorrow begins to feel less uncertain. These moments may appear small, but they carry extraordinary meaning because they remind your soul that light has never stopped finding its way to you. Archangel Michael smiles and says, "Congratulations, not because your journey is finished, but because you have reached the place where you can finally enjoy the journey itself." Think about those words for a moment. How many times did you postpone joy until everything became perfect? How often did you believe peace belonged somewhere ahead instead of here, in this present moment? Tonight gently dissolves that illusion. Peace has been walking beside you all along, waiting for you to notice its quiet presence. There is another reason your heart was guided here. You have become an answer to encouragement for others without even realizing it. The calm you carry, the kindness you share, the patience you extend, these things have reached people in ways you may never fully know. Never underestimate the quiet influence of a compassionate spirit. The smallest act of goodness can become the beginning of someone else's hope. Don't skip this next reflection, because it may become one of the most meaningful parts of this message. Imagine looking back on this evening months from now. You may not remember every sentence, but you will remember how your heart felt. You will remember the moment you stopped measuring your life by what was missing and began appreciating what had quietly been growing within you. That single shift can transform ordinary days into deeply meaningful ones. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, let gratitude become the doorway through which greater joy continues to enter your life." Gratitude does not ignore challenges. It simply refuses to let challenges become the entire story. Every sunrise offers another beginning. Every evening offers another chance to reflect on how far you have come. And every peaceful moment reminds you that hope continues moving with you, step by step. As this beautiful night continues, allow yourself to rest in quiet confidence. Release the pressure to have every answer. Release the need to compare your path with anyone else's. Your story has its own rhythm, its own timing, and its own gentle beauty. The chapters ahead do not ask you to rush. They invite you to walk forward with trust, knowing that each new day carries opportunities to experience even deeper peace. Yet one final message remains, and it is perhaps the most personal of all. It gathers every truth shared so far into one simple yet powerful reminder, a reminder that will reveal why Archangel Michael spoke congratulations before anything else. When the next part begins, the entire message will come together with a quiet clarity that your heart has been preparing to receive from the very beginning. Before this message moves any further, allow one gentle silence to settle over your heart. Sometimes the deepest truth is not found in the next answer, but in the quiet space where your spirit finally stops striving and simply listens. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, congratulations once more. Not because life has become free of every challenge, but because your heart has learned something far more valuable. It has learned to recognize light even before the sunrise fully appears." This is the quiet promise that has been unfolding since the very first words of this message. Happiness is not waiting at the end of your journey. It has already begun walking beside you. Every peaceful thought you welcomed, every burden you gradually released. Every moment you chose hope instead of discouragement, they have all become evidence that your spirit is stronger, calmer, and more prepared than you realize. Think about the person you were a year ago. Think about the questions that once kept your heart awake, the worries that seemed impossible to quiet, the uncertainty that often felt larger than your confidence. Now look at yourself with gentle honesty. You are still here. You have continued growing. You have learned lessons that could never have been taught through comfort alone. Even when progress felt invisible, your soul kept moving forward. That quiet perseverance deserves to be celebrated. Stay with these words just a little longer, because something important is waiting for you. There is a beautiful difference between chasing happiness and becoming someone who naturally carries it. The first depends on circumstances. The second grows from within. Archangel Michael reminds you that lasting joy is not built upon perfect days. It is built upon a peaceful heart that remembers gratitude even during ordinary moments. Perhaps tonight you will notice something very simple. A conversation that feels warmer than expected, a memory that no longer carries its old weight, or a quiet smile appearing without any obvious reason. Do not overlook these moments. They are gentle reminders that your inner world is changing, and when the heart changes, the way you experience life changes with it. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, your greatest blessing this evening is clarity. Clarity to see your worth without comparing yourself to anyone else. Clarity to appreciate how far you have already come instead of only focusing on how far you wish to go. Clarity to understand that every season of waiting has quietly prepared you for greater peace, deeper wisdom, and a stronger sense of purpose." Don't skip this reflection, because it may remain with you long after tonight has passed. Imagine waking tomorrow with the same circumstances around you, yet carrying a completely different perspective within you. Suddenly the ordinary feels meaningful. Small blessings become easier to notice. Hope feels natural instead of forced. That is how lasting transformation begins, not through dramatic moments, but through gentle shifts that quietly reshape the heart. There is another beautiful truth Archangel Michael wants you to remember. You do not have to carry yesterday into tomorrow. Every evening gives you permission to release what has become too heavy. Every new morning offers another opportunity to begin again with renewed peace. Let tonight become the gentle bridge between what no longer serves your spirit and the hopeful path opening before you. As these words settle into your heart, receive this blessing with quiet confidence. May your evening be filled with calm that restores your spirit. May your thoughts become lighter. May gratitude gently replace worry. May hope continue growing with every peaceful breath. And may you remember, whenever doubt returns, that happiness often begins with the simple decision to notice the goodness already surrounding you. Archangel Michael smiles and says, "Walk into this night with confidence, beloved. The light you have been searching for has already begun shining within you." And as your journey continues beyond this evening, may that quiet light guide every step, reminding you again and again why heaven began this message with one beautiful word. Congratulations.